that, I would yield to the gentleman from Pennsylvania for his opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to thank our witnesses for appearing before the committee today. I look forward to hearing your testimony on the executive compensation in companies that received exceptional taxpayer assistance during the government's response to the 2008 financial crisis. Like most Americans, I was troubled to learn how the structure of compensation packages on Wall Street helped to create incentives for taking the unnecessary and excessive risks that led to the financial crisis in the first place. Too often, executives received huge cash salaries, discretionary raises, exorbitant bonuses, and golden parachutes, with little to no reason to care about their behavior's effect on the long-term consequences to the company and the country, because their compensation wasn't tied to the long-term health of the company. With the economy collapsing, the taxpayers bailed out these companies, not because we wanted to, but because we had to. Millions of middle-class jobs, blue-collar manufacturing jobs, would have been gone. Millions of people out of work, through no fault of their own, just because a bunch of traders on Wall Street didn't feel the need to think about the long-term consequences of their actions. This was hard to stomach when the taxpayers who saved these companies are often struggling themselves to make ends meet. But it was a necessary thing to do, and the right thing to do, to save the jobs of millions of innocent middle-class people who had nothing to do with causing that financial crisis in the first place. With these bailouts came conditions, and rightly so. One of the many conditions was that the Treasury Department would appoint someone to oversee executive compensation at these companies. This compensation was to be structured in a way that would incentivize long-term growth over risk-taking and personal gain, and most importantly, get these companies back on their feet again by attracting and retaining quality employees that would keep these jobs safe so that they're able to pay back the taxpayers as quickly as possible. TARP has been overall a success story. According to the Treasury Department, as of January 31, 2013, Treasury has recovered all or substantially all of TARP funds dispersed to date. 4 of the 7 companies we're talking about today to receive the most TARP funds have already paid us back and exited the program. Now, I'd like to point out here a great irony that we will see in this room today. The same people who argued that they would rather have gone over the fiscal cliff because a 4.6% increase in taxes on the wealthiest 0.7% in our nation would destroy the economy are the same people who are now saying that these specific 0.7%ers are making too much money. Now, I know we will be getting into the minutia today, and I welcome that discussion. However, it's important to recognize the big picture here. We held our noses. We bailed out these companies so that millions of middle-class jobs wouldn't be lost. This program was an overall success, and millions of people are employed in this country who otherwise wouldn't have been. I thank the Chairman for calling this hearing, and I look forward to a productive dialogue on these issues.